Everybody, Jay and Manion here at the NPC Photo Gym. We're obviously in Pittsburgh because we're both wearing Pittsburgh colors, right?
Yes.
I am here with your 2020 NPC National Wellness Overall Champion,
Mia Samuels.
the very first one.
Yes, the very first.
Yes, that's it. I mean, you are the national champion.
I was, yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah, and she's here doing her road to the IFBB Pittsburgh Pro, making her pro debut, right?
Yes, sir.
How's it feel?
I'm nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but it's exciting nonetheless. It's very exciting to.
Why is it nervous?
I don't know. I've never really been nervous before, but I don't know. I think it's just so much excitement happening. It's like.
Not like I talk this contest up every day online,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, not at all.
Not at
You
all.
know, just,
Not at all.
you know, it's just, a really big show, but it's fine.
Well, I said my goal was to have 20 people, 20 wellness pros in the Pittsburgh Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm already more than halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have your contract signed?
I do not yet.
All right, interview's over, we're done. No.
We gotta go.
What are you waiting for?
I don't know. I have it at home. I have it signed there. I honestly, I don't know. I have it there. I've just been looking at it. It's right when I get up, I can see it on my mirror. So.
Well, you can you could scan it or anything and to the office, and you can still have it there to look at.
Yeah. I've been reading it every day.
There's this new thing that you can do called PDFs.
Yes. Emails and all that.
Yeah, it's all new.
Yeah.
Yeah, look it up. Google it.
Yeah, I can, and that's new too. Yeah,
Yes.
Google. Yeah.
So, me and I actually only met last August in Texas, in Irving, at the NPC contest she did and won.
Yes.
Okay. So she comes off stage, and how about that contest? They put it together in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That was
super fast.
Yeah.
Which we were so grateful for because it was right after quarantine. Well, still kind of during
Yeah.
quarantine, but it was the first thing we could do
Yeah.
after being cooped
Yeah.
up forever.
Yeah, Sheila and Freddie did that. So she walks off the stage, and she comes over, and I'm standing there with our two-time Bikini Olympic champion, Angelica Teixeira, and she's all excited, and we're talking to her, and asking her what she's going to do, and she doesn't know at that point because she just got off stage, and, right?
I knew my name at least that day, but I didn't know what I was going to do.
So I started talking to her about going to national shows, and she was just like, I'm not ready.
Yeah, no, I was not at first. I was like, I think I'm doing this one, but I don't know. And you're like, no, you should do it. You should come to Pittsburgh. And I was like, okay. And I did. And I went to Pittsburgh. And we all went to Pittsburgh. And it was actually a really good show, even though it was like in a tent.
Right.
It was awesome, though.
It was the North American.
Yeah, it was cool, though, especially for being in a tent. Glad that we were still actually able to do it,
Right.
honestly. I was just wanting to compete, so.
And tell everybody, how did you do in that contest?
I got second in Class B. Yeah, Class B.
Yep.
So, yeah, I got second there. It was really awesome.
Now, the North American, only the class winners qualified.
Yeah, and Renee Jewett, she got first, and then I got second, and then, but then I just wanted to come back, and I did nationals in November, originally in Miami, but then it was in Orlando, and then I won that, and then I won the overall. So, yeah.
And there it is.
Yeah, and there it is. Yeah.
That's it.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and when she came off stage at the Nationals,
Well, at first on stage, I forgot my name. Yeah, so I didn't even realize that I.
listen, we told this story once before, but tell everybody the story. It is a funny story. Come on, you're up there.
So I'm up there, and then, it's loud, and then you're nervous, and you're just, the lights are bright, you can't really see, and then they're like, your overall champion is Mia Samuels. I was like, nice, congrats. And Dr. Sunny was like, okay, and she was like, but that's you, and I was like, oh. And I went, and then I was just like, okay. And I just kind of felt really confused, and then I did an interview with Attila, and then I was like, even more confused because I was just like, oh my gosh, it's so long. So and then I couldn't really talk during my interview, so that was fine. And then I think we took like 10 takes or something just because I was so nervous I couldn't say anything. And then she was like, okay, now you're making me nervous. And then she couldn't say anything either, so yeah. And then she was making fun of me. She was like, I don't even speak English, and why can't you talk? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm just happy to be here. So yeah, I didn't realize how much a geek I was until that day. And then I was like, cool. So.
But I went back and reminded her of our conversation in August.
Yes. Yeah, and you're like, see, remember? And you're like, you told you to come, and you'd go pro. And I was like, yeah, you called it. You called it for sure. So.
Yeah, she was like dead set, like, no, there's no way.
No.
This will not happen, right?
I was
That's when we were still in Irving.
Yeah, I was thinking a couple of years, just kind of like my bikini journey. I was like, oh, it's going to take a couple times, a couple years, which is fine, and yeah, I definitely didn't think I was going to win overall. He was like, you made history, and I was like, for what? So, yeah, that was...
She was totally on cloud 9.
Yeah, and for like...
Or 10, 11, because you were...
I was just up there excited. I didn't know what was going on at all. I was just like, this is cool. And then called my parents, and they were like, you did it. My mom's crying, so I was like, yeah, because they did the pay-per-view thing.
Right.
So that was super cool.
Yeah, I mean, everybody that won an overall at one of the NPC national contests last year, I mean, everyone makes history because, they're the first ones to do it. And, now you go down, like I said, in all seriousness, I mean, our very first NPC national champion bodybuilder was Lee Haney. And now we have Mia Simmons as our very first NPC nationals wellness overall.
Yeah.
And all in between it, look at you, I'm just watching your face.
I mean, for my name to be kind of like mentioned, that's cool. No pressure or anything.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Just like there was no pressure when I called you all out in that video. Huh?
Yeah. None at all. It's just like, okay. But it's fine.
Yeah, I've heard from I did these videos talking about Pittsburgh Pro Wellness, Pittsburgh Pro Bikini, men's physique, figure, and I would just rattle off the names of people who I think should come to the contest. I mean, should compete, I should say. I mean, and with wellness is a little different because there was nobody before. But like with the bikini, like I was even calling out Janet, I was calling out people, I was calling out the Olympia channel, I was just everybody, right? Mm-hmm. Just having fun. But the wellness, because I've heard from other wellness competitors, they were like, as soon as they heard that, they're like, oh, I guess we have to do the contest. Yeah, that was kind of the idea.
Yeah. I was like, you can't exactly say no. So I was like, well, I guess I'm going back to Pittsburgh, guys. So yeah, here we are in Pittsburgh. And I'm, doing my duty.
Being a Texas girl, I like the fact that you're in these colors.
My mom would be happy. My dad, maybe not, but it's fine.
Well, that's what I said, I like her mom already.
Yeah. She's going to be happy. But she might try to steal his shirt, but it's fine. I don't know. She likes all Pittsburgh Steelers, everything. Have to get her something on the way.
So is she going to be able to come to the contest?
She is not this time. No. I'm kind of bummed because I was like, how are you going to be a Steelers fan and you've never been there? But she wants a souvenir every time. But I'm like, you have to go up there too.
See, the souvenir would be you with your medal or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, come up here with me. She's like, I can't. I don't know why she can't, but she can't. So I don't know. I know my dad can't because he can't get off work, but I don't know what she's doing. But she's gonna.
Not like you're calling your mom out in this video.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Not at all, right?
Maybe it'll get her to get a flight late or something. I would like for her to be here, but I don't know. She doesn't travel much. She likes her little Texas place, I guess.
So since November, and has this all sunk in now that now you're getting ready, you're doing your pro debut. I mean, as I keep saying, this is going to be our first truly IFBB Pro League international wellness contest because all the other ones were kind of like country specific, like even like the Tampa Pro and things, and with 2 qualifications on the line for the Olympia.
Yeah.
And a lot of competitors, international competitors.
A lot of great competitors too.
And the best thing is, basically, except for like 2 of you, this is all your rookie pro debuts.
Yeah. So
basically, everybody is on the same plane because almost all of you have not competed against each other at all.
No, not at all. I mean, and if they did, it was like at a national show or something. Yeah.
But even then, you weren't like really next to them.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
because there was heights, and you're just there, and hey,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, I mean, like, there are just little instances, like, Dr. Sunny will be competing, and when you thought she won, but I'm saying that, but.
She has a great physique. I was like, yeah, woo.
Yeah, but you're not, and especially being next to the international competitors too, which will be nice.
Yeah, and it's just nice to, be on the same plane and all kind of be going through the journey at the same time. Even if they, were pro before in like a different division like bikini or something like that, it's just cool because none of us have been here yet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice, to see everybody changing and evolving and just doing their job to level up, I guess,
Yes.
and just to be on a pro stage and a big one at that. It's
The home of the IFBB Pro League and NPC.
exactly. It's,
No
it's
pressure.
cool. Yeah.
Not
No
at all.
pressure at all,
Not at all.
There's just 2 qualifications there, it's nothing.
That's all.
Yeah. No, it's fun. I don't know if it's sinking in because I don't know if I'm supposed to feel different. I feel, I guess, not like obligated, but it's just more of like a job, and it's just kind of like I got like more of a promotion. Like I have to do harder work just to come in like crisp and just
Right.
100%, which you do every time, but it's just like, okay, you came in at 100% at a different level. And now you're kind of like, okay, I got promoted, so like I kind of have to come in 100% even more.
Right.
So, it's kind of like being in JV and then now you're on varsity, and then you're trying to, now you're trying to go D1 in college and, go to the Olympia, and then you're, things like that. So.
Yeah, and speaking of which, I had seen on your social media that you recently had an injury, and I had asked you about it. So, and you said it was kind of like an old injury from when you played athletics. So tell people what the injury is and what sports you used to play, and for how long.
Forever. So it's just an old knee injury from track when I ran in like middle school. I ran it from like about 5th grade till senior year. I didn't go to college for it, but I did track, soccer. I cheered for a really long time. I tried to play basketball, but I'm very short. So I'm the only Samuels who can't play basketball, but I'm also the only Samuels who's 5'3". They're all like 5'11" and above. So I didn't get that gene.
But then none of them are national champions, though, right?
That's true.
See?
They all did go D1 in ball, but yeah, not there yet. But I'm like, yeah.
So wait, they got to come up to your level now.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, exactly. So.
See?
But they're all excited though. They kind of, they watch me on YouTube and stuff, which they find videos I didn't even know existed on YouTube. And they'll send it to me, and I'm like, I don't even know where that came from. But thank you for sharing. Same with my family in the Philippines. They're like, look at you, and I'm like, okay, thank you. But yeah, I played a lot of sports and started like when I was 5, doing martial arts and stuff. Didn't have any injuries then, thankfully. But yeah, it's kind of just a lot of pressure on my knee, but I've been just taking it easy and doing what I can. Doing a lot of hamstring work because it doesn't hurt my knee. But yeah.
All right, so when in all that time of doing all the different sports did you get into weight training?
In high school, my volleyball coach really, really tried to get me into powerlifting. I just didn't want to do it.
Okay, so wait. Come on here. So you can play volleyball, but you can't play basketball.
Yeah, I have really good hops, but I just can't like defend on my feet because I go up to their belly button. So it was just kind of hard because I was just
Okay, all right, yeah.
But I could jump and just be up there, but I can't jump the whole time. I just look ridiculous at that point. Yeah, but I did play volleyball for a really long time until like sophomore year, and then I realized I wasn't growing anymore. So I was like, got to focus on where we're probably going to go to college for. So I just stayed with track because you don't have to be tall to do that one. And you just have to have pretty good legs, which there we are.
There it is.
There it is, yeah. So she wanted me to do powerlifting, wasn't really into it, but I would do the workouts just to kind of help be explosive out of the blocks. And I've known my coach since I was like 10. So he would be like, come on, you can do like weight training. I'd be like, I don't want to do that. Like I want to focus on track and this, and then finally graduated high school, cheered a little bit in college and then stopped. And then he was like, come do a show. And I only knew about women's physique at that time. So I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't think I'm shaped like that. I don't know if I'd be able to get that muscle, you know? And he was like, no, there's like so many other divisions you can do. And then that's when we started.
So you were bikini.
Mm-hmm. I was bikini because I didn't think I would be able to grow lats, which I still kind of struggle with every now and then, just at least on that level. But yeah, I was bikini for 2 years. 2 years.
And how did that work out?
It was good. I did really good at amateur shows, just not at the national level, because every time I had to size down my legs, and which was very hard after like not doing a leg day for a year and a half, and then still having to size them down was kind of tough.
Well, I've said that pretty much everybody that's now in wellness was an unhappy bikini competitor.
Mm-hmm. Like I loved doing I loved prepping still, but it was just kind of, you know, tough to know that you weren't really gonna. That was kind of the cap.
Right.
It was just to do well at amateur shows, and then I moved up a little bit at national shows, but never anything to be like top 10.
Right.
Nothing like that.
So when you heard about us bringing wellness, did you know what wellness was before that?
I did. I did, because I would see it on social media and I would send it to my coach. I'd be like, I'm shaped like these girls. Where are they competing at?
Yeah.
I was like, I know some is in Brazil, but I was like, what is this? Like, how? I don't see them on stage. And he's like, no, that's a different division. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because all I knew about was NPC. I didn't even know there was like different divisions
We don't talk
or
about
anything.
them.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know. I was like, I only know about NPC. So I was like, well, I don't see these girls anywhere. And he was like, nah, that's different. I was like, oh, okay. And then he was like, eventually they might bring it over here. So he was like, but until then, we can just figure out where we want to go, figure or bikini. And then I was prepping for nationals, North Americans, actually, in 2019, and that's when they announced wellness, and I was like, yes! I like sent it to him immediately. I was like, it's our time, you know?
Yes.
And he was like, heck yeah! So, and then we finished out that prep, and then I was like, we're just gonna give it my best for bikini and lay it all on the table, and then whatever happens, happens, and then we're just gonna, you know.
So was the contest in Irving your first wellness contest?
It was my second. I had
Second,
just done one in Arlington 2 weeks before.
Okay. So you were like really, when I met you, that was your second. You had just started doing the wellness. So when I'm like going, well, yeah, you should go to a national contest, you're probably going, he's crazy.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know if it's time yet, just because
There is no time because it was so new.
Yeah.
It was everybody's time.
That's true, yeah, because I had a plan coming into 2020. I was like, okay, I'll do the first wellness show in Texas just to, figure out how it goes. Quarter turns was not something I'd ever done. So I was like, okay, we'll figure out how that goes and just to figure out if this is even meant for me.
Right.
So then of course that didn't happen. So it was like, I think we were 3 weeks out when we had to go in quarantine. I think something like that. So that got postponed at least 8 weeks, and it got pushed back even more. And then, so the very first show that they announced, I was like, I want to do that one.
So how did you do your training during quarantine?
A lot of at-home workouts at first, and then luckily we had like a bench that has like the leg extensions that can turn into hamstring curls.
Right.
And we had like 3 pairs of dumbbells in the little backyard of our apartment. So I like got to do that, did a lot of like running.
Yeah.
I ran like 5 miles a day.
Like you're running out of the interview here. It looks like
Oh, me too. I'm like going all the way over there. I'm gonna be in the bathroom.
Pretty soon it'll just be a voice. I'll be going, so anyways.
I'll be like in the bathroom. Sorry. It's because I was running 5 miles a day.
That's it.
I ran
You
away.
did Jim Bray just
Exactly.
but like,
Yeah,
ready
just
to go.
gonna run. Yeah, I did a lot of running because that was all you could do. You couldn't go to a gym,
Right.
but they couldn't, they weren't guiding like parks. So I was like, I'm just gonna go run, do that, do something. And then, but I was like, do running, then do like jump squats, and then like run again, and just stuff like that. Anything I really could.
Right.
Just to just to stay active and
Right.
not just be sedentary, because I didn't know how long that was going to last, if it was really going to be the 4 weeks or if it was going to be
Right.
longer, so I was like, I didn't want to stay just stagnant for that
Right.
long.
Now, okay, so kind of bringing this back full circle, in December, we were back at the Irving Convention Center for the Battle of Texas Pro-Am, and this time Angelica was on stage, right?
She was, and she won.
Yes. So I got you, and we kind of stood where We were back in August, and she came off stage, and she came right over. She knew. She's like, "Oh, this is our spot."
Yep.
Because there's a light up there that we knew where it was, right?
I was just happy to have a spot, with you guys. I was like, wow, I have a spot with them. That's cool. So yeah.
Yeah,
I was standing right there.
And now this time you were staying there as the national champion.
I was, yeah, which was really cool. And then we even got to get like a photo, which was like, the flip the switch
Right.
challenge, because I was in a dress as the, pro guest or whatever, and then she was there in a blue suit, which she always wears purple, so I was like, that's kind of weird, and then so, of course, I didn't even hesitate to post the picture. Not at all. I think I was like in the crowd. I was like, yeah.
Of course.
I was like, I had to, I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening. So, yeah.
But it was kind of surreal being in that place.
Yeah.
And role reversal with you and her.
Yeah. And especially like right after you guys had just called it, and I was just like, yeah, okay, yeah, they're just fooling. They're just, they're messing with me. It's fine, But I was just like, that's neat, because y'all both said, you should go to nationals. You have a good chance of turning pro. And I was just like, I don't know, I was thinking it was going to take a couple of years to do, just like it does for, most people. And then I came back, I was like, that's kind of neat, we were manifesting in that spot.
Yes.
So.
And speaking it into existence, as they say.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, did you think that wellness was going to accelerate and grow as quick as it did in 2020? Because we really had like less than half a year.
Yeah, no, I really didn't, but I'm glad it did. Just especially with how it happened. And if you think about it, it's like 6 months old, give or take, like 6 to 8 months old. But it really just like got such a great following, which I think is awesome. I think it's gonna be huge.
Yeah, I said that I would have never thought that 2020, that wellness would have gotten as popular and as it did here in the United States, in the NPC. Because I tell everybody that the week after I saw you in Texas, we were at the NPC USA Championships, and there were more wellness competitors entered than there were figure. Mm-hmm. I would have bet as much money as could fill this gym, that would have never happened in 2020.
Yeah, especially not so fast. Like maybe eventually, but it just had such a
that it overtook another women's division, which a bigger women's division, like figure and bikini are the two biggest.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
It was nuts.
And with only 4 classes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and because, going into it, I was like, okay, maybe there won't be a lot of people, competing just because it's just so new.
Right.
It takes time for people to size up. And so I was just like, I don't know. But then getting back there, there's like 16, 17, something like that per class. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good size number. It was awesome. And then everybody looked great. So it was just like, cool, everybody was ready and they were waiting basically for it, just like.
Yeah, now I know, like, during those few months and everything, I'd see people's posts and stuff, and it'd be, hashtag wellness takeover. So when I found out that information, I did a story on it. I put my hashtag as the takeover has begun. Mm-hmm. Like it is really, it began.
Oh yeah.
So
it took off.
Yeah, I think this year it's going to be even bigger.
Oh yeah, especially
because now we have the Wellness Olympia and.
It's exciting. Yeah, it's just cool and it's kind of surreal, but it's just like it's actually here. Like last year was like more kind of a dream for a lot of us. It's just like, okay, cool, it's finally here in the NPC. It's time for us just to be able to like do it, see how we go. But now it's like here.
Right.
It's this year. And it's the first pro show to get people to qualify, and it's cool. And I'm excited to see how big it gets like within the next 5 years.
Yes.
Even. I
said my prediction is 2024. Wellness will be the most dominant women's division in the NPC Row, and IFBB Pro League.
That's a good year too.
And I'm talking overtaking bikini.
Oh wow, yeah.
When I say that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Now I have people to tell me I'm crazy. People tell me I'm right. And other people are like, "Well, wait and see."
Yeah. I kind of believe it though. With such a short time and it getting such a big following. I mean, it seems like it's on track to do that. I don't think.
Would you have ever thought that?
I honestly, when it was first announced, I was like, I don't know if it will. just because bikini is so big. It at North
Right.
Americans, there's like what 750 bikini competitors, something like that. Like a lot of women. So it's just like that just seems like high numbers.
Yeah, well, there wasn't 750 bikini, but
Something.
it seemed like,
There is a
well,
lot.
listen, no, well, we also had the Masters Pro women. So when you add that in, but as far as the amateurs,
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just all together, it's just like that's a lot.
yeah, there's a lot. Because on that Wednesday, we did the Masters bikini first, before we went to the NPC portion on that Wednesday. And we went 4 hours, from 8 a.m. to noon, just with the Masters women's bikini. Yeah.
I remember.
Yes.
I remember because in 2019 I was on that day, and I was just like, man, there's a lot. There's
Yes.
a lot of women in this division. It has its own day.
Yes, it does.
It has to.
And yeah, I think that, in pairing wellness up with figure, as they do, and as they did at the USA also, because again, bikini pretty much had its own time, and I just never thought that would happen. And when co-promoter Tarek Ogindi pulled me aside, and he goes, "You're never going to believe this. We have." Once the check-ins were done and numbers given out, and actually the people that did show up, sometimes somebody drops out or whatever, but he said there's like legit, there was 15 more wellness competitors than there were total figure competitors.
Yeah.
People go 15, I'm like, that's a lot. You don't think it, but that's a lot.
That's an entire class, really.
Yeah.
That can make up an entire class.
I'm like,
That's
are
a
you
lot.
sure? He goes, listen, I had my statistician run it twice to double check.
He didn't even believe it.
Because he didn't want to come over and later go, oh, I was wrong. But no. Yeah, he said that was, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah, it definitely has begun, which is great. And it's just cool, to see it have a good following, and then people from other countries try and spread the awareness just to tell people what it really is. 'Cause some people were like, I don't even know what wellness is. Like, I know bikini, women's physique, figure. I don't know what that is, or women's bodybuilding too. So, you have to then go
So
into
now when people say they don't know wellness, you don't go, duh.
hello. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. Yeah, they're just like, oh, okay, so you just have big legs. And I'm like, I mean, it's a little bit more than that, but yes, to sum it up, yes. So it's cool.
Yeah, it is. All right. So is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to here?
Yes, just in my entire support system as a whole. My coach, just because I wouldn't be in bodybuilding if it weren't for him. He's been trying to recruit me since I was like 16 to do a teen show. Finally got to when I was like 23. So it took a little bit of time, but it's finally here. My parents, because I don't even think I would need to post on any social media because they post enough for me with how proud they are, which is awesome. Just my family in general, they're really supportive. They no longer make me or try to make me eat at family functions. They get it now. Same with my friends. They get when I can't hang out and do things. And then my boyfriend for sure. He's like just the #1 supporter, and it's just great to have somebody in your corner who believes in you, and I believe in him too. So hopefully one day, he can be by this too.
Well, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
That'd be
cool. And hopefully, he can get it too.
I've actually had a couple of the competitors that came here that have done their road to the Pittsburgh Pro already, the Pittsburgh, yeah. And their significant others or boyfriends or husbands were here, and they're like, yeah, that's me. I'll be doing this interview with you next year.
Yeah.
I like that.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I would love that for him. Like,
Yeah.
120%. That would be great.
Yeah, I never realized the impact of what this wall means to people. Because I look at it every day,
Yeah, because he's like, he texted me this long thing this morning. He was like, I'm so proud of you. Like, he was like, that's an invite only. Like, you get to do this. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I've actually, because once we put this up in 2018, but I've seen there's actually hashtags NPC wall, NPC logo wall, the NPC double bicep wall. There's like all these different hashtags. And I'm like, it has its own. It has more than one actually.
Yeah, because I've seen him and I'm like, oh yeah, that's because you click on him, you just see this in the back, and it's just like because I said when I got here, like you see it all the time. And you're like, one day I just want to be there, You know, I just
Right.
want to be at this spot and it's cool, you know? So he was like, soak it all in. He was like, go get some sleep, soak it all in. He was like, you have a big day tomorrow, and I don't think you realize how big it is. So I
Right.
was just like, you know, and I was just like, yeah, you know, I'm trying not to so I don't get anxious. I was
Right.
like, stop it, you know? But yeah, it would be so cool, you know, to be here
Yes.
with him. But one day, hopefully soon, maybe next year too.
Good,
Maybe the
I
Pittsburgh
like
Pro.
that, I like that.
That'd be neat.
I'm just saying, you guys could do contests together.
Yeah, the last one we did was North Americans in 2019. And he did way better than I did. But I mean, you know, he has.
Hey, everybody has their time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You were just waiting for wellness.
100%.
Hashtag
Yeah.
too, waiting for wellness.
Waiting for wellness. Yep. That's really what I was doing. And, you know, he's going to come back in September and do the North Americans. So we'll see.
Hopefully not in a tent.
Yeah. I liked the tent. It was kind of cool.
Oh, the tent was cool. I will say, because those first 2 days it rained, remember? And it didn't drip. Nothing. All it was because we were in a parking lot that some of the water came underneath, but there was enough. We had tarps and everything down. You know, we just had to pick up all the cords.
Yeah.
Nothing shorted out.
Yeah. That's
Put them
what we
on
were
boxes.
worried about. We're
Put them
like,
on plastic boxes and things so
Yeah.
that.
But for it being in a tent and for it having all the obstacles, it was still really well ran. It was, and to be able to be like, you know what, I competed in a tent, and it happened.
Well, that stage you were on was the same stage that you would have been on anyways, in the hotel ballroom, you know? So I go, in one aspect, it kind of reminded me of like when they shoot movies and TV shows, like they show like this part, but back here it's just all media and cameras and stuff. It's kind of like what we were.
Yeah.
Like if you put a green screen back here, we could have put an audience in.
Oh yeah, it was like completely behind the scenes and you wouldn't even think about it, but it was just cool, you know, and just to be able to still do it, and that's how we had to do it, but like all the obstacles, it just really kind of shows like all the thought and like time and effort that really goes into it, just because like it could have just been like, can't do it.
Right.
You know, like we'll reschedule it, cancel it, whatever. But it was just like, no, it's gonna be
Well,
done.
they were, I know that, you know, promoter Gary Udit and my father, they were gonna push it anyways, but the fact that we had 2 other countries coming in, you know, with Canada and Mexico. And, you know, and how hard it was for so many of the Canadians to actually get out of that country,
Yeah.
the ones that actually made it here,
Yeah.
before I went to really long lockdown.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
It just was really nice because it was like cool, you know, like it just showed how much care there was, because for us it was kind of hard a little bit to travel from state to state, but not nearly as hard, you
Right.
know? So like it was nice because it's like you still get a chance to compete, you still get to do this. May not be ideal because there's no AC and all
Right.
that stuff, but it's just like you're still getting to step on stage.
Right.
You know, and that's really all most of us really care about, so it was nice. And it's just cool to say I competed in a tent.
Right.
You know, like I was like, I'm in a tent competing. You know, not many people get to say that.
That's true.
So it's kind of cool, you know? So.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure.
And what's ironic was 3 weeks later, I was photographing the NBC IFBB Pro Tahoe show in a tent on the 18th hole of this golf course, okay? Up in Lake Tahoe, one of the ski resorts. They had to use one of the greens because they needed someplace flat.
Yeah.
So you had to use, and it was funny because the side, or the, whatever they use, you know, where the carts run on, the runway, the sidewalk or whatever it goes through, it's like literally right through the middle of the tent.
You're just like, oh, that's the travel path right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's not, I mean, it was.
who would have thought in all these
experience.
years, I'd say I photographed 2 shows in a tent in 3 weeks.
Exactly. It's like, you know, 2020 things for sure.
Yeah,
Who'd
for
have
sure.
thunk?
So now you had mentioned previously that you actually have curly hair.
I do. Naturally huge curly hair.
And you competed in North America with curly hair, right? So why did you straighten it?
I don't know. I got a straightener a long time ago and I've just been straightening my hair. Actually, I straightened it to come here. It's been curly for the past 3 months because I just, I don't know. It's just easier, I guess. I don't know, because.
Well, I think it'll be harder because you got to sit there and just.
Well, it used to take forever to straighten my hair. Now it takes like 15 minutes, so it doesn't take too long, but I I do have to sit there, and sometimes my shoulder like gets tired.
Now,
because
is it curly or is it wavy curly?
it's like curly,
Like Ettila curly, Jennifer Dory curly,
like
right?
that curly. Mm-hmm.
Listen, it works for them on the pro bikini stage.
It does. It works really well for them.
What do you think on the pro wellness stage? I don't know anyone else that really has curly hair.
I don't either. I don't know either. I don't think
What do you think?
I guess I'm gonna have to rock the curly hair, I guess.
Listen, you could put up a story on Instagram. You know, picture from Nationals, do a picture from North American first, because you have the curly hair. Then Nationals, because that's the way it went. You know, but people usually pick the first picture they see. But anyways,
Not to be biased or anything.
not that I'm stacking the deck
Yeah,
already.
right? Yeah, that's
You
fine.
know, and curly or not, have a poll.
I will. I'll do that today and see.
Yeah, I mean, I know what I'm voting for.
Yeah.
Not that I'm biased or anything.
Yeah, not at all. It's,
It's not like I'm married to somebody with really curly hair or anything.
and the queen of wellness.
That's it.
The
That's it.
original.
Yes. And I'll probably grab her phone, Cassie. I'm just gonna keep going on different things and just keep curly.
I'm pretty sure my mom's
And
gonna do the
stack the
same.
deck. I'm gonna stack the deck against you.
This is a little.
Just at least I'm letting you know.
I should just plan now, like, okay, so it's gonna be curly hair for that day. That's fine.
I think you should rock it.
I'll do it. I'll do that with the 43 too.
Yeah, the Palomalo face paint, curly hair. I think that's a thing.
It's gonna, yeah. I think it'd be a good thing.
I think it'd be a good thing. Yeah.
Not sure how the judges might like the paint at least, but
I'll get them to look at you.
yeah, that's true. And I'd be like, look, we're in Pittsburgh. I thought we were being festive, Spirit Day. Like
Listen,
here.
I'm just going to tell you this too. So once I let Debbie know that you have curly hair, she's going to say, why are you not doing it? And then for the photo shoot, she's going to say, you're going to need curly hair anyways.
I was definitely gonna wear curly hair for the photo shoot.
Well, there you go.
I know, that's why I was like, so should I just do it for the show too? Because it's right there. Yeah, I've been going back and forth with it for a couple of weeks. I'm like, should I just do it for the whole time and I probably will. That seems easier, right? That seems easier.
It's more you.
That's true. That's true. It is more me. And yeah, it's a little bit easier. Less heat damage on my hair too.
See, you've already talked yourself into it. I didn't have to do much.
Yeah. Well, I already knew you were going to stack the cards against me, so I might as well just get used to the idea, just be like, okay, fine, curly
Yeah.
hair.
But I still think you should put it up on an Instagram story.
Okay, I will.
See what everybody else says.
It's going to be like 100%, like, what? Okay.
And how many of these did JM vote on, actually?
Let me see.
How, I mean,
10 out of the 20.
it's
That's
him and all
fine.
his friends. What the?
There's only 3 other people who voted. That'd be good, though. I think I will. I'll bring it back.
Okay.
Every time I'm in Pittsburgh, at least, might as well create a tradition, right?
There we go. I think that's it.
Because for North Americans, I decided the day before. I was
Okay.
going to have straight hair.
Well, see, now you're more than the day before.
Yes.
You got a
I
month.
have some time.
You have a month.
A month exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. That sounds good. All right. Well, this is JM Manion,
Mia Samuels.
and we'll look forward to seeing you at the IFBB Pittsburgh Pro in a month, and signing out for NPCNewsOnline.com.